I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw.
The latest on the search for 2 escaped inmates who killed 2 corrections officers on their way out.
An investigation is underway into what caused a driver to crash on LAPWAI Road.
Plus, we'll show you the unexpected surprise this man got under the hood of his car. KLEW News live at 11 starts right now. It's a program you might have seen happening in prisons across the country. An animal shelter partners with a correctional facility to allow inmates to train dogs that aren't being adopted. Welcome to KLEW News. I'm Sarah Jacobson.
And I'm Kayla Lafferty. Well, now that's happening right here in our community. The Lewis Clark Animal Shelter was approached by the Idaho Correctional Institution in OROFINO, and this partnership has proved to be beneficial, and not only for the dogs. This story is new at 11.
I've always wanted to do this since I've been working at the shelter.
Donna Defoe, the Lewis Clark Animal Shelter Director of Operations, had no hesitations when the prison contacted her about participating in the PAWS program.
I'd seen stories about this kind of a program in other prisons, and when I started working here, had wanted to do one.
PAWS stands for Paroling Animals with Skills, and it allows inmates to train, live with, and care for dogs that were abused, abandoned, or surrendered.
A lot of the inmates behind these fences have a history, and a lot of those are similar to the histories and backstories of the dogs they'll be working with.
Take Summer. She was found in an abandoned foreclosed home in Lewiston.
There she is. There was just feces all over the house. She was locked in the house, and she was vicious. I mean, so afraid.
Summer is one of the dogs chosen for the PAWS program, and it has changed her life around.
Just so grateful that she could come here and learn that people are nice and people don't treat you like that, and she got trained.
Lieutenant Earl Johnson has spent 24 years in law enforcement, including as a canine officer.
I have a love for dogs.
He knew he wanted to start a program here.
I approached Warden Carlin with the idea of starting a dog program, and she was gracious enough to let me start one.
Exercise finished.
His goal for the program started with the idea of helping the dogs.
So we're trying to heal that dog from whatever environment it came from.
But that turned into something much bigger.
Good boy. Being free or being out in society and living your own way is gone for a lot of them. Having a pet gives them a sense of what they used to have in their family atmosphere.
Lieutenant Johnson has seen this change firsthand.
He was basically a convict and a thug. And that's what he'd been his whole life, and that's what he figured he was going to be his whole life. He got into this program, and the dogs changed him.
He says that inmate was eventually paroled and left this facility with the hopes of becoming a dog trainer. Lieutenant Johnson says PAWS allows the inmates an experience much of them need to turn a corner in life.
This is their chance to give something back to society. It's their chance of doing something that's good versus what brought them here.
This is the first time the Lewis Clark Animal Shelter has participated in the PAWS program, and they say they are extremely pleased with how it all turned out, but they are accepting donations to help fund the food and materials to help continue this program. If you'd like to donate, you can go to the link you see on your screen.
That is cute, doggone cute, Kayla. All right, let's get a first check of the weather with Keith Havens. Keith?
Well, thank you very much. Hello again, everyone. What a beautiful day we had today. Nice, cool weather here. Not too hot, not too cool, but just a great day for our Tuesday. Take a look at our satellite radar from earlier today. Look at that sunshine that we had in that clear pocket between our cloud cover there for Washington and Oregon. And Idaho was just kind of on the cusp there where we had some cloud cover coming through, but blue skies, sunshine. As I said earlier, just a beautiful Tuesday. Now, as we go into our futurecast, we'll show you here that a lot of that energy from northern Idaho is going to move right into Montana. We'll still have a little bit of cloud coming through, and then we'll see some more clouds Wednesday evening, though. We'll start clouding up into Thursday morning. Now, there's a possibility, we're not looking at a lot of rain out of this system because a lot of this rain action will head up to the north. But we are looking about a 50% chance of that happening Thursday night. Some areas are going to see more than that. And I'll have the details coming up in our extended forecast for around the region in about 10 minutes. Kayla, Sarah?
Well, thank you, Keith. And new at 11, an investigation is underway into what caused a pickup truck to crash. No other vehicles were involved, and the pickup was on its side with all the windows shattered. It happened on LAPWAI Road past Cougar Ridge earlier this evening. Firefighters extricated the driver, who was briefly pinned inside. His condition is not known at this time.
Also new at 11, a warning from the Washington State Attorney General's office on a tobacco settlement scam. Now, the AG's office says it's been inundated with phone calls about an online ad that says they can get guaranteed tax-free payments of $2,300 for a month forever. The deceptive ad claims to be from the Tobacco Master Settlement Agreement, which it's not. The catch with this ad, you have to buy a subscription that costs anywhere from $79 to $129. The order form also asks for your personal information and a credit card number. You can file a complaint with the Washington State Attorney General's office.
I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw. I have their blood on my shoes.
An emotional Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills earlier today, moments after 2 inmates killed, then escaped a Georgia state prison. 2 inmates involved in the fatal shooting of 2 corrections officers on a bus earlier this morning in central Georgia are still at large. Authorities say they don't know where the inmates are, and a massive manhunt is still underway.
KLEW News Director Ana Velasquez reports on how it all began.
A brazen and violent escape from a prisoner transport bus early this morning. Authorities say Donnie Russell Rowe and Ricky Dubose were being transferred from one Georgia prison to another with 31 fellow inmates when they got out of the locked rear section.
2 of the prisoners got out of the back somehow, got into the driver's compartment, overpowered the guards, the officers who were driving the bus, obtained their weapons, and shot and killed both of the corrections officers.
Rowe and Dubose fled the bus and carjacked a 2004 4-door green Honda Civic that had driven up behind the transport.
We need somebody to find this car, find these individuals. They are armed, they're dangerous. Call 911 if you see it immediately.
Authorities are offering a $60,000 reward for information leading to their capture. The local sheriff says the pair were last spotted at a Family Dollar store in Madison, Georgia. Communities from there to Alabama have been put on the lookout. 43-year-old Rowe was serving up to life for armed robbery and aggravated assault. 24-year-old Dubose was serving up to 20 years for armed robbery, aggravated assault, and theft.
They need to surrender before we find them. I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw. I have their blood on my shoes.
Ana Velasquez, KLEW News.
Thank you, Ana. Now, you may have noticed a lot of road work going on lately, or have even had to drive through it. Work is being done here on East Main Street to adjust manholes and other utilities. Street maintenance manager Keith Bingman says several of them had come out of adjustment, making the street bumpy. This construction is necessary to make for a smoother ride. For all projects on the street preservation project, they'll be putting down different types of seals and doing some patching. Bingman says they'll start the next phase of the project, taking place on Main and D Streets tomorrow.
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, they will slurry seal the north side of D Street and the north side of Main Street between 1st and 9th, generally about 1st and 9th. That'll be closed. It'll take, that'll be a full closure, including the intersections, throughout the night at by 6 a.m. Thursday morning. We'll open up the intersection.
Bingman says they'll do the south portion of that project on Thursday night and should have everything back open on Main and D Streets by Friday. Construction is expected to last through the end of the month.
And for the second day in a row, the city of Lewiston is asking its residents to limit watering. That's because the water plant lost its 2 process pumps. Officials made this request on Monday morning, and it still stands until further notice. Now, we're told the water plant only has 2 process pumps, and right now residents' water supply is coming from the well. And because of the high demand, they're asking folks to curtail irrigation. Water quality is not affected, and it is safe to drink, but this does not affect customers within the Lewiston Irrigation District. And if you've been having trouble getting a hold of any City of Pullman offices through their landlines, that's because service is down. The phones haven't worked for about 3 days now. The outage was caused when a Vista was doing some utility work, but when the backup generator didn't come back on after the outage, that's when the phones went out as well. The 911 and radio systems still work, but it's made communicating with residents difficult. Officials hope to have the phones up and running later tomorrow.
And now that school is out for summer, more and more kids are enjoying their vacation by riding their bikes. But it's important that they know the rules of the road. That's why the Clarkston Police and Fire Departments are partnering with Walmart to make sure kids are riding safely. They're hosting a bike rodeo tomorrow evening where kids can get bike and helmet checks and learn tips and tricks to stay safe. This is the 3rd year Clarkston has held the event. Officer John Moorbeck says it's a good opportunity to make sure kids are prepared before summer really kicks off.
We're going to be checking the bikes. We're going to have a little course set up for them to navigate through to see that they can make sure they can handle the bike that they've got. Fire department will be there checking helmets, make sure they fit properly, they got the right size, they got brakes and all those safety things in place, especially now we're at summertime and you're going to have more kids out on bikes.
The bike rodeo will be held in the Clarkston Walmart parking lot from 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday night. It's free and open to kids of all ages. And more news coming up for you tonight on KLEW News Live at 11. Watch this man get an unexpected surprise under the hood.
What was his expression?
Was like, oh, and he jumped back and he was like freaking out. He was running in the garage.
A few caught on camera moments of this python and how it got inside his car.
Plus, sometimes you get what you ask for, and that's what this driver got from the meter maid.
And excitement is building for Cougar football. Details ahead. We'll be right back.
When you see news happen, share it with us on Facebook or email us at news@klewtv.com. Your pics or video could be featured on KLEW News or klewtv.com. If you see it, share it with KLEW News.
Welcome back. Do we have a doozy of a story for you now?
That's right. Now, a man thought he was just having engine trouble when his car wouldn't start.
But as you're about to see caught on camera, the problem slithered in under the hood.
What was that?
I didn't want anything to do with it.
When Diane Walsh's husband got in the car Friday morning, it wouldn't start. He thought it was a bad battery.
He was like frustrated. He slammed the door in the car and he came out, and when he opened the hood, there the snake was. Right then you will see his expression.
What was his expression?
Was like, oh, and he jumped back and he was like freaking out. He was running in the garage.
The Walshes tried scaring the snake out with a hose, but the snake
just kept moving from one place to the other.
And ended up in the wheel well by the time rescuers with Wildlife Inc. Education and Rehabilitation Center showed up.
We had to turn the wheel, pull apart this vinyl, and access the metal space up and underneath through here. I could hear him hissing through the car. A couple times he struck at my hand. I had to pull out really fast.
An hour later, the 3-foot-long ball python was out.
Whatever they can fit their head through, pretty much, they can fit the rest of their body.
It turns out the snake had nothing to do with the car not starting. See, the Walsh's Impala is keyless, and they had left the doors unlocked the night before. When Diane's husband tried pushing the ignition button, the car wouldn't start. See, he forgot the key fob.
Or else he would have been taken for quite a ride.
4,000 calls a year, and Fridays was.
This is definitely a first for us.
How does this one rate against all the others?
It was one of the definitely more interesting ones.
That was Isabel Mascarenas reporting from Bradenton, Florida.
I'm not even that scared of snakes, but that would definitely freak me out.
That gave me shivers. It is the largest snake I have ever seen. And it's frightening to watch and at the same time captivating. Keith Havens up next with more of this.
Also, we'll show you how this note won a meter maid sympathy.
you get a big fish weather shot, send it to me. Keith H., KLEWTV.com. Kayla, Sarah?
Well, thank you, Keith. When we come back, Sarah, you're bringing us sports?
Yep, that's right. Cougar football, it's heating up. We have details coming your way. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The kickoff to football season may be months away, but for the Washington State Cougs, excitement is already mounting after their athletic director Bill Moose announced the Cougs' complete non-conference football schedule through the 2021 season. Now the Cougs have officially signed contracts to play New Mexico State, Northern Colorado, Eastern Washington, University of Idaho, and Portland State to lock up the non-conference portion through the 2021 season. Counting the non-conference season of 2017, the Cougars will play 7 games in Martin Stadium in 4 of the next 5 seasons. For a full list of their future non-conference schedules, head to our website, KLEWTV.com, and click on sports. And congratulations to the Vandal men's tennis team, who finished their season with an 8th overall rank in the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's final Mountain Region ranks. The Vandal men, they won the 2017 Big Sky National Championship and now are ranked 1 spot ahead of rival Northern Arizona to lead the Big Sky throughout the region. Now that Big Sky Championship win earned the team an NCAA tournament bid, which was the team's 2nd appearance in the last 3 years. The Vandals took on Stanford in the tournament, losing out in the first round with a 4-0 loss. And congratulations as well to the Vandal women's tennis team, who ranked 10th in the final Mountain Region rankings, as well as claiming the 2017 Big Sky MVP, Mariana Petrie, who was seeded 11th overall. Idaho defeated Northern Arizona in the Big Sky tournament and claimed its 3rd consecutive Big Sky championship. The Vandals then moved to the NCAA tournament for its 4th straight season and finished with a 16-8 overall record, taking on the 2016 NCAA champion, Stanford University. And last night, the Mariners took on the Twins yet again with game 1 of their 4-game series. We break it out top of the first, runners on 2nd and 3rd, and my man Nelson Cruz sends one back up the middle off of Mejia. Twins for the 2-0 single, and it is 2-0 Mariners. Then bottom, Joe Mauer, he splits the gap in left off Giovanni Gallardo with runners on the corners for the bases clear and double. It is a tied game, folks. We fast forward now. We're at the top of the 8th. It is 10-3 Seattle, and Danny Valencia, he's about to take Craig Breslow deep to left for the solo home run. There it is. Now look at that. Next pitch, it's Mike Zunino, and Mike Zunino, my man Mike Zunino, he is on fire at the plate. He makes it back-to-back with a solo homer to center. The M's, they take the win. Final score, 12-3 Mariners.
Well, thank you, Sarah. And finally tonight, a driver knew the parking spot would earn a ticket, but one person won a meter-maid sympathy with a note. The Wisconsin driver got out of a parking ticket by leaving this note. It says, "Please take pity on me. I walked home. Safe choices." And then added a smiley face. The officer who came across this note gave into the request and wrote back, "Pity granted, just a warning, $0.00."
Well, better safe than sorry.
Yep.
And here is a last look at weather for you. 8 a.m. looking at a gorgeous day, 55 degrees, heating up to 71 by 3 p.m. A little bit of cloud cover coming to the area, but a gorgeous day overall. And remember, when we're not on the air, you can find us online on Facebook and Twitter. Just search KLEW. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 5, 6, and 11.
Between now and then, make it a great night.